Hey guys, it's Tiffany. I've got a little bit of a buzzkill going on, so I wanted to share this part of the bee journey. It's super sad, so let me show you around. So I came out to check on the bees a couple days ago. They were thriving, so much so that even here in the first part of September, I was considering doing a split or at least making a nuke because swarming is still a possibility. So that changed drastically overnight. I got up in the morning, I checked the bees, and almost half of them were dead. So that was different than the day before. And so I am gonna go down and check, and I'm just gonna take you with me so I can show you what's going on. They're trying to cover up the little bees being born to save them from them. Okay, so the situation is we have a large amount of dead bees. So that's what I was trying to show you. So this is how country I am, driving in my bee suit, my lit smoker, to my neighbors. Okay, I got back from the neighbors. His hives are actually totally fine. There's some hive beetle up there. We put some of the sheets, like the natural sheets in, and only one of these two hives is having the massive die-off. So we've been pretty perplexed. Everything matches up with pesticide issues. People, like our neighbors, haven't sprayed anything. We haven't sprayed anything. It's just really odd, and of course you kind of, like, I feel like I failed them, right? Like, I feel like I'm a bad bee mom, and I do have access to some queens this weekend. I checked in the hives for a couple of hours here, and I'm not seeing a queen, and the brood I'm seeing isn't looking good. So in the failing hive, which is so weird because it turned around so quickly. So let me show you what's happening here. So I cleaned up the bottom board, baseboard, what do you call it? Clean that up, but you can see, like, that is a pile of sisters here that have passed, and that's probably a third of the amount that have died. Like, I don't know, it's maddening, sad. So let's see. Good thing I came back out here so I can put that rock back. Hey friends, so I talked to some beekeepers that have way more experience than I do, and it does seem like pesticide is still kind of the main idea here with what's going on. And so I just wanted to share that in their experience, some things that have happened are using whatever they'd used to kill oak wilt. There were 25 trees that were sprayed with whatever that is, and that was enough to cause a significant die-off in one of their hives. Another one had a client that had put just Amdro around the house, like killing ant beds around the perimeter of the house, which was far away from the hives, but that was enough to kill 2 entire colonies. So it's a sensitive situation. So at the end of the day, we can use more natural things, like to do our weed killing, to do some anthill removal services, like the vinegar, there's salt, of course. Some people are using vinegar and Dawn, and if you really geek out about it, it's like, yeah, all those things can actually kill bees too, but it's just not the same as these pesticides that are still on the market, right? So I guess the takeaway here is, don't try to kill a whole bunch of stuff with pesticides, and try to live and let live, and let nature iron itself out instead of interfering with chemicals. So let's go take a look this morning and see where we're at. So one of the things about the pesticide is that some of the bees that are coming back are kind of looking like drunk, like they're not flying as fast, or they're just kind of wobbling around. It's really sad. So that's another indicator for me. And I guess the good news is there's only a couple of small piles of dead bees. It's not like that heaping pile that was there yesterday. So I talked to some more beekeeping mentors. One of them said that they've lost 30 to 40 colonies from pesticides, and it's very consistent with what happened out here. Strange thing is we're pretty isolated. Bees can fly, 5+ miles to do their foraging, so it's not like we expected them to stay right here. What I found, the recommendation was give them an extra frame of brood to try to rear some new babies, but at the end of the day, it's like, their frames are toxic, so I can't really reuse the wax that they've built. So I'm just going to ride it out, let kind of Mother Nature do her thing, and see what happens. So one of the reasons this is kind of an interesting challenge, is that my reasons for getting into beekeeping had to do with the ecology, right? Like I wanted to understand the pollinator system. I took a 6-month-long apprenticeship. I've studied, I've read, I've watched videos. I continue to maintain relationships with mentors, but I really wanted to get into beekeeping to help with the natural flow, the ecology, and to have your first colony killed by insecticide, pesticide, toxins is it's like the very opposite of the thing that I wanted. But maybe it's the very thing that needed to happen so that we could have this conversation, so that we could say, look, this is real. This is what happens to the bees, and without the bees we don't have food, right? So I don't know, just some thoughts around that. So guys, in closing up this update, I just want to thank all of the mentors and beekeepers who are pros that helped me along the way, specifically Tara at 2 Hives, Georgia at Sister Creek, and Nathalie and Les at be mindful. And of course, my dad, who's helping me along the bee journey here. So last, I want to read one of the versions of the FFA Creed that really speaks to me. It says, "I believe in the future of agriculture. Ours is an industry rich in tradition and ripe with promise. As farmers before me diligently coaxed life from this land, I will dedicate myself to the tasks before me. The legacy left to me is one of honor, and I shall strive to preserve and strengthen the dignity of American agriculture. I believe a career in agriculture is a worthy undertaking. In choosing agriculture, I embrace a purposeful way of life based on productive work, progressive thought, calculated risk, and a commitment to education. I welcome these challenges, for I know such a life yields endless rewards. I believe I'm responsible for the well-being of the earth. I stand ready to make wise choices which will enhance life for my fellow human beings and preserve the world's precious resources. I accept eagerly this charge, for the future literally depends upon me. I believe that building my self-esteem and developing my natural talents are among the most valuable contributions I can make to my society. A nation's wealth is found in its people, and I must seek to become a well-rounded citizen, a person of solid character, upon whom this country can lay its mantle of leadership." So, guys, that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching the bee journey. We are going to see what happens. Stranger things have happened. I'm just going to kind of keep my eyes on the hive, basically, and listen to the pros and see what happens. So you can follow my blog at tiffanyharlick.com. And thanks again for caring about the bees with me. Namaste.